Avery Johnson will get an opening statement from Coach and go ahead and take a few questions.
Not our best second half. I thought in the first half we did everything pretty much to a T defensively. We limited them from getting to the free throw line. We did a terrific job defending the three-point line. And I think that was all because of, offensively how we had pretty decent flow on offense. Still had 8 turnovers. They converted 11 of our turnovers. 8 of our turnovers that we had, they converted them into 11 points. And then in the second half, turned it over too much. They converted our 11 turnovers to 17 points. And it's hard for us to get our defense set when we're turning the ball over like that. They went from shooting, they didn't shoot a free throw in the second half and had 14 attempts in the second half. So give them credit. They did a nice job coming on the road, getting the win. And we just didn't have a great second half. And we've been that way a lot this season. And just still trying to put our finger on why we just don't have the effort and the energy in the second half that we need, and why we don't make great decisions with the basketball. But we got to get back to work on Thursday and see if we can finish the SEC play on a high note at Arkansas.
Thank you, Coach. Just raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start in the middle here with Alex.
Avery, just coming out of that timeout, 110, what was the game plan? Obviously, it looked like Kyra driving to his right slipped a little bit.
Yeah, we were trying to get the ball. Tevin was our first look, and they did a nice job of not allowing Tevin to get the ball. And Kyra got downhill, pretty much single coverage, and looked like he slipped, and just came up empty.
So go second row in the middle, Michael.
Was there any consistent thing you saw with the second half of the turnovers? They seemed to really just compound themselves one after another.
I just thought we didn't play off 2 feet enough. Our spacing was poor. Obviously, we got off to a great start. That first unit was terrific. That was as good a start as we've had. But then when we started the second half and, Dejan was banged up, we subbed early and we just didn't have that consistent rhythm. Even when we had an 8-point lead, then we turned it over or had a poor shot or we missed a wide open shot. So, but turnovers they'll beat you every time.
Stay in the middle with Tony, then we got Cecil.
There was an 18-2 run second half. Just what did you tell the team to kind of try to stop that? You were able to battle back after that. So. Yeah,
it was tough. We were just bad on both ends of the floor. And we tried to get a little bit more of a defensive team in there to try to slow them down. We knew they were going to Chuma, but give them credit. Harper is a veteran point guard. He knows what he's doing. He's crafty, and he made some big plays for him there in the second half. And we just struggled to score.
Back row, Cecil.
Coach Riley had been pretty good down the stretch the last few games, but didn't play the last 6 minutes, I don't think, of this game. Was that just matchups? Or
yeah, it was matchups a little bit. They were, Chuma was kind of hurting us a little bit there, and we thought if we, went with Tevin and Tevin made a big 3 for us, we needed Herb on the court to handle the ball. And just kind of a matchup situation, and coach's decision.
Third row middle.
You mentioned Chuma a couple times now. Obviously, played him 5 times in his career so far. Just how much of a difference have you seen from him from last year to this year?
Well, his body, he's significantly improved his body in the off season. He's really trimmed down. He was a little chubby last year, but he's worked on his body, worked on his game. He's more of an inside-out threat. He's just not settling for threes. And he's tough because, if he has a guy on him his size, he can post him up, and bigger guys, he can take them off the dribble. So he's a much improved player, and he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Come in front here, Drew.
Couple questions, Coach. First, Dante Hall with only 3 shot attempts. What was the issue with not being able to get him the ball? What did Auburn do?
Well, the first thing is if you turn the ball over 19 or 20 times, that's 19 or 20 times he's not even going to get an attempt to shoot the basketball. And then I thought when he was open on a couple of slips, we missed him. But there are other times when we drove the ball to the basket, they didn't bring a lot of help. They were really concerned about his lives.
And then defensively, what did Auburn change and do to kind of disrupt your offense in the second half?
I just thought, you know, their switches and denying us the basketball. We just didn't make enough backdoor cuts and read defenses. But there were stretches when we were good, but we just weren't good enough on a consistent basis. But I thought they did a nice job of switching up their defenses. The zone slowed us down a little bit in the first half, but then we scored on the zone and got them out of it in the second half. And when they went back to man, and you know, Spencer was really jumping out, impacting our pick and rolls. And when he did, we just didn't do a good job of finding Dante.
Goes back to Michael. We got 3 more questions. Michael and Cecil now.
It seemed like there at the final seconds after another turnover and the free throws, the crowd rate cleared out pretty quickly. Can you sense that frustration in the crowd for these games in the second half?
Of course they're disappointed. It's a rivalry game. We hadn't played our best basketball here at the end of the season. You know, it's not their fault. So they've given us all they had this year. Our crowds have been incredible. Our student participation has been incredible. So we can't blame the crowd for anything. They've been very, 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 very supportive this year, and we really appreciate it.
Cecil?
After it was tied at 60, they had 2 possessions where Harper basically just went one-on-one, just went right to the basket and got a layup. Just hard to guard him off the bounce. Nobody defended the rim. What was the issue?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job of getting him off the three-point line because we were really concerned about his threes. But once we got him inside the three-point line, I thought we just lost some of our positioning on the ball and opened up and allowed him just to drive to the basket. And sometimes when they have McLemore on the court, because he's a much improved three-point shooter, you know, sometimes defenses can have a tendency to stay a little bit too close to him and not come over and support as much in our shell defense. But we'll look at it and see how we can improve the next time around.
Last question, Alex.
Avery, you've had several of these kind of one-half games, you know, where something happens in the second half and things kind of fall apart. But given how important this game is to you personally, to the fans, how disappointing is this loss in the grand scheme of things?
I'm very, very disappointed, but I'm not disappointed to a point where we're not going to get back to work tomorrow. Have a good practice on Thursday. You know, I know we let a lot of people down tonight. I feel bad, but we just got to get back to work. I think our greatest example right now is going to show how we're going to recover from this loss. Last year, you know, we beat them 2 games to 1. Now they're up 2 games on us this year. You never know what will happen in the SEC tournament if we'll see them again. So we will have an opportunity to finish this season on a high note. Unfortunately, we just didn't do it here at home, but we have another game on the road before we embark on the SEC tournament.
Thank you, Coach.